Hi everybody, Will here with Just in Time Prepping. How's everybody today? Hey, we had a pretty nice day here today. It was around 75, pretty good for February. Hey, tonight I want to talk to you guys about martial law. I know that we've talked about it, kind of touched on it, but we've really not gone into it very well. So I thought I'd spend a few minutes with you tonight and just talk to you about martial law. Now, martial law, there's a couple of different ways of having martial law. You can have martial law that is just in your town or city, or you can have martial law that is set by the government. Now, if it's in your town or state or city, what they do is they set up a curfew. And the curfew will tell you when you can be out on the streets and when you can't be out on the streets. And so that's to keep the people under control so there's no riots or things like that. They'll set up roadblocks and they'll ask for your ID cards or your driver's licenses. They'll do such things as rationing out food so that everybody gets their fair share. And the best thing that you can do for a local martial law is just stay inside and try to follow the curfew. If you think martial law is going to come to your community and you think that you can't abide by the rules they're going to put in place to keep everybody from rioting or causing problems, then what you might want to consider doing is bugging out, which is leaving town, going somewhere where you can live more normal. So that's what the government's going to do. They're doing that for a couple of different reasons. They're doing it so that there's no rioting, and then they're doing it again so there's no looting or anything like that. Also, it's a way of keeping control of the situation. Now, if you don't know the severity of the situation, the best thing to do is just stay inside. Another kind of martial law is if the government puts martial law out for the whole entire country. And my plan, now I'm not endorsing it for you guys, but my plan is if I think that there's going to be martial law for the country, I myself want to go somewhere else than the city. Because in the city, that's where I'm telling you that they're going to set up checkpoints, they're going to check your ID, they're going to restrict the amount of movement that you can do. So if it's a countrywide martial law, you may want to consider leaving and going outside the city limits, and if you can, live on the land, or if you got property, go out and live on your property and do something like that, because for me, it would be better than being told when I can go outside, when I can't go outside, and when that I can't go to the store, because what they're going to do is they're going to give you a little ration ticket, and you can only go and you can only spend X amount of dollars at a time. But on the government side, it's going to be totally different. They're still going to have the curfews, and they're still going to have the checkpoints and the roadblocks, but they're going to do other things, and they're going to set up new laws, and they're going to make us abide by the new law. They'll have the roadblocks, they'll give you out ration cards, but the new thing is they'll issue new ID cards. Now, I don't know if you guys read about this or heard about it, but I believe I saw it on the news, is that they're thinking about coming out with new RFID, and that's where they slip a thing underneath your skin like they do animals, so they can track you and know where you are all the time. And I'm telling you, that does not sound good to me. I'm sorry. I tried to put myself around it and say, hey, this is a good thing, but I just don't think it's a good thing. I don't want to be a number. I don't want to have somebody be able to say, hey, Will's over here right now, but he's not supposed to be there. Go get him. And that's basically what that RFID tag would do. So that's not really what I want to do. So that's why I have started this just-in-time prepping is so that you and I can create the super list, and when the time comes, and we can abide by the list. You don't want to be in big groups, and you don't want to do anything outside the law. Because when you start doing that, then they're going to come and get you anyway. They're going to break down your door. They're going to take your guns. They're going to take anything that you think that they think is going to be a weapon away from you, and they're going to take you to the camp. And we've talked about this, the FEMA camps, and I don't know if you know. You can just put it into Google, and a map will come up, and it'll tell you where all the FEMA camps are and where they're set up. And I'm telling you, there is a lot of them across the United States. And so I don't want to be or have my family or my friends in that situation where they would be in a FEMA camp. So that's why I have this just-in-time prepping. Make the super list, make sure everybody's prepared, make sure that you know what to do when the time comes. That's all part of being prepared. It's not just saying, well, I'll stay in my house, I have a generator, and I'm just going to ride it out. Because sure, you might be able to ride it out for a week or 2 weeks or a month, but eventually you're going to be in a world of hurt and then be unprepared. Excuse me for a minute, I need a drink. So that's where I was saying is they will knock on your door, if not kick it in, because the martial law will give the military will be the law. The military will be the law. They'll kick in your door if you and you want to try to cooperate with them, because if you don't, they're set up, but they're going to be sort of like a badass. They're going to actually tell you to sit down and shut up, and they're going to search your whole house. And so the best thing to do is just to let them come in, let them do their search, be nice, don't cause any problems, and let them come in, do what they're going to do. And if you're lucky, they'll leave and not take you with them. But from what I understand is they're going to be taking the people out, because they're going to have their own super list. And they're going to already have the people they think are going to cause problems on that super list. And guess what? You're gone. So martial law is not a good thing or a bad thing. But with the politics, and I don't like, as I've said, this isn't set up for politics. I don't do it because I'm a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or the left wing or the right wing or whatever. I do it because I'm an American, and I do it because I care about my friends and my family. So, with that said, the thing to do is to leave before they knock on your door. Just be prepared. Take your food, your clothing, your water, your weapons, and your family, and get the hell out of town. And that's part of why I'm trying to help you guys prepare, is to find a place that you can safely go where you're not going to be placed in any sort of camp. And so that's the main reason I'm doing the video tonight, is because the way it's going, I kind of foresee, and it's on the news, that there may be there's talk of martial law with all the riots and the protests and everything going on in our country. So I'm just trying to get the word out. That's what I'm going to be doing. Just in time prepping, trying to get myself and my family ready, trying to pass the word on to my family and my friends, hoping that they think about what I'm saying. I'm not trying to push anything on you. I'm just going to try to repeat it over and over again. I'm going to show you some things that you can do at home to prepare, such as the weapons. As you can see, I have the bow that I made behind me here. And I'm going to be presenting, show you how to take a weapon apart, put it back together. I'm sure there's a ton of you out there that already know how to do this, but there's going to be some that don't. And if you know somebody that has a firearm but doesn't know how, maybe you should be teaching them. Teach them what you know and prepare them for shit hits the fan, you know. It's no big deal. It's not even, you could make it, hey, Joe down the street, Billy Bob doesn't know how to take his weapon apart and clean it. Why don't we go down there and have a couple of beers with him and take the weapons apart? Because you know they're going to be empty, right? A smart guy is going to have all the bullets put away somewhere else. And you're just going to be sitting there taking the guns apart, cleaning them, oiling them up, putting them back together. And you're going to be doing it together so he learns what he's doing. Or she. I don't want to be sexist. And then everybody's working together as a group. And we're doing it in a safe, non-violent way. And all we're doing is trying to protect ourselves, protect our friends, protect our family. Nothing wrong with that. So that's martial law. And I'm telling you, there's going to be power in numbers. So, you know, I'm not saying form groups. Because if you form a group and they have martial law, they're going to see that. And when they see that, then guess what? You get put on their long list. So if you have a group, you want to make sure that you have ways of communicating without being together in a group. I mean, you can have code words, or you can send one person over to talk to another person. So, you know, it's just like that, word of mouth, instead of on your phone, on the telephone, because they'll be watching for that. So, you want to do what they say, you want to be prepared, you want to have food, clothing, water, and your weapons, and you want to make sure that you're getting the word out to other people, because that's the important thing right there. Make sure everybody else is prepared. Now, my thought is I'm trying to save enough food for 6 months, because that way I will be able to go for 6 months without having to ask anybody for anything. I can go be somewhere else. I don't have to rely on anybody else. I have for myself. I have for my family. And if my friends need some help, I could probably help them, but I'm not going to support them. It's like kids. You don't want to support your kids after they grow up. But you want to get the word out there and make them prepare too, and think about it. Because you just never know. If you watch the news today, President Trump, he sent an aircraft carrier over to near the not Iran, yeah. I think it's China, over by the China coast. Because China's building those man-made islands and putting military installations on them. So he's sending a carrier over there. Well, I heard in this other news article that they expect us to be at war with China within 10 years or less. So we don't really have that much time. We have to get band together and educate other people, educate ourselves, get the word out, do everything lawfully, and make sure that you have enough to take care of yourself for 6 months to a year. It's not hard. And if we all get together, make the super list to make sure that we don't leave anything out. Because when you leave something out, it falls apart, starts unraveling. So, with that said, you know, I just want to say, I think that I'm doing a good job. I'm not a very good talker in front of a camera, really not in front of a camera, but I'm trying to talk to you like I would talk to my friends. So, with that said, that's all I have for you tonight. If you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button with the bell so that when I make another video, you know, and you can go in there and watch. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask you guys to do one thing for me. And that is, if you like my video, you think it's educational, share it with at least one person. Because if we share it with one person, that person might share it with one person, and pretty soon we're going to have enough people to start having an intelligent conversation, making out the super list so that we don't miss anything, and preparing for the big event. So, I want you guys to leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I also am on Facebook at facebook.com/just JIT prepping, just in time. I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/Shutterboy2016. I'm also on Twitter at WillIsPatreon, and that's on Twitter, and I'm also on YouTube. Just in time prepping on YouTube. And I believe I'm on Google. I have it there, but I think it's just Will Russell. I don't think it says just in time prepping. And so that's all I have tonight, boys and girls. If you want to fund me, leave it in the comments below. It's paypal.me/WillRussell17. And you can go on there and make it anonymous. Nobody has to know. Or you can just pass it on to your friends. So with that, that's all I have tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you next time. You guys have a great evening and God bless.